Hello, hello everybody. How are you? I am so behind. I'm so behind here, guys. So I had a meeting and I couldn't get out of the meeting. And then Elsie had to get her down. I swear. How are you guys? So behind. Okay, so I'm going to teach you guys how you can okay, so I'm going to teach you guys how you can make your foundation actually just look like regular old skin, okay? So, but first, I want you guys to pop down below if you struggle with your foundation looking like skin. I look like a hot mess express right now. I had to do a telehealth with my doctor. Oh, it's just been one of those days. Yesterday I had my OBGYN appointment. I feel like I've had appointments and now I'm going to every week. So now I go to the OBGYN every week now. So lovely. But if you struggle with your foundation, not feeling like it looks like your skin and you feel like it looks cakey, or if it looks too thick, comment down below what you struggle with. Maybe you struggle with your not being able to find like the perfect color for you. I know some people struggle with that, and that has to do a lot with like oxidization. A lot of foundations oxidize, unfortunately. And so it causes it to create a different color. And that just comes with like foundations that have like SPFs or have been watered down or anything like that. So you'll find that people do struggle in that department. So, but I want you guys to be able to take this away today and be able to say, I can wear foundation, but also I can look natural too. I think that's why a lot of women stray away from foundation and wearing it because they don't want to look like they have tons on. My brow is not done, so don't be afraid. Don't be alarmed. That's why a lot of people stray away from it. I have this bozo brow. I used to have to get Botox for my migraines, and they give you like 36 shots, right? They give them up your here, and they give them up in here, and then your head's like this pin cushion. And when they do your forehead, like they don't do like what they do at the med spa when they're like, boop. No, they go like, boop, 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 boop. And when he did it, he permanently, my brow is like permanently up. It never went down. And when I went back to him and told him, he tried to accuse me of wanting more Botox. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure like that's not what I want, but okay. I just don't want to look like Spock anymore. So because he wouldn't fix it and I couldn't go anywhere else, it was going to cost me a fortune. My insurance was like, so it's permanently, he told me it would go down in like 3 weeks, but it never did. So wonderful healthcare system, a wonderful healthcare system. Guess it could be worse, right? Okay, so when I like to do this, I like to use a brush similar to this. It's almost like a paintbrush. It's a foundation brush, but it looks like a paintbrush. It's one of my favorite ways. You could see I used a light foundation with it. I used a really light foundation with it last time. Now, the trick to making your skin look like it is natural is by hydrating it, okay? So, you know, I'm going to tell you guys, I have a lot of redness, so it takes a lot for me to cover and to look natural, but I can do it. I can definitely do it. Hi, Angel. I was actually getting ready to, I was going to give you a call after I was done with this because I talked to my doctor and I was going to kind of tell you how it went. About that paperwork I was needing. So, we want it to look natural. So you may not deal with as much redness as I deal with, but I'm going to show you guys kind of what I use. Now, I have a lot of redness in here, right? And melasma. So I have to use more of a olivey tone. So you can see here, you have like this corally tone. This is a lighter color for lightning. And this one is an olivey tone, a greenish olive tone for covering those blasted areas. Blasted. I got that word off of Anne of Green Gables. When I was younger, she used to say blasted all the time. Blasted. I love that movie. I love that show. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the series. Oh, I love it. It's back in the old Western days. It's back in the old Western days. It's got Katherine Heigl in it. Katherine Heigl. And I love those old Western days movies. My husband says I'm weird. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm taking a little bit of that concealer, that olivey green concealer, and all I'm doing is I'm just lightly tapping on that concealer. Okay. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a 4-part series. Oh, it's like the best. And it's about Katherine Heigl. She gets pregnant back in the olden days, but her husband died. And so they send her away to, she's like married off to some random guy who ends up, he's a widower, and he takes her in and until she delivers or whatever, and then she can decide if she wants to stay or not. And then it just goes on from that. Like it just keeps, and then it shows like when, you know, they get married, and then it keeps, the series keeps going on. So I like it. And I love When Calls the Heart. My husband like rolls his eyes. He's like, I'm going to watch that with my eyes rolled behind the back of my eyelids. He's like, I don't know how you watch this stupid stuff. And I'm like, just like how you watch basketball 24/7. Hello. Okay, so this is all I'm doing. I'm just lightly applying that concealer. And I always, even if I'm not wearing makeup sometimes, I'll cover this. I hate this blasted birthmark. It is annoying. So as you can see, I didn't put a lot on. It just looks, you can still see my natural skin tone. You can still see everything looks natural. Everything looks great. Okay, now some of you struggle with like dark circles, that kind of thing. Yeah, Lance is not one for watching that kind of stuff. I got him to watch The Secret movie. It's a new movie that came out about The Secret. It's not the original Secret. It's a new one that came out. And it has what is her name? I can't think of her name. It's got some famous actor on it, but I can't remember. But it was pretty good. And he actually watched it. Rick is about Westerns. Yeah, I'm not talking about John Wayne Westerns here. Like, I don't watch those kind of Westerns. But I will watch, like, I used to love Beverly Lewis books because they were back from when I was, for where I'm from, is where they were created for back home in Iowa, Amana colonies. So I do like those. Now, we are going to put a touch Now, what happened to that brush? Yeah, if you guys have ever seen or read Beverly Lewis books, those are from back in my stomping grounds where the area where I grew up. It's just about like the Amana colonies and the people that live in that area. Okay, so we're going to use just a touch of foundation. I'm looking for my brush, to be honest with you guys. I'm not trying to not make eye contact with you. So I'm just going to use this brush because I don't know where my other brush is. So all I'm doing is just kind of dipping. As you can see, I hardly have anything on. I'm just slightly dipping in there just to give it a little bit of Clint Eastwood. I like those too, and he will watch the new ones with me too. Yeah. And I've been watching Yellowstone too. I like Yellowstone. I haven't gotten very far into it. I'm trying to finish Wentworth. It's a woman's prison in Australia. It's quite interesting. Okay, so I have that on. It's super, super like light. You can still see my skin. I just have things kind of covered. I don't have tons on. Now, you guys were all needed to remind me that I can't go out of here with my brow not finished here. Not that anybody would care. Lance would just be like, what is going on with your brow? So I've been just looking around since we're here for Thanksgiving by ourselves because the doctor doesn't want us to leave, which she verified that again yesterday. She's like, yeah, I just would prefer. She doesn't want me to go anywhere past. She says she'll be very honest. She goes, I'll be very surprised if you make it to 38 to 39 weeks. I'm like, thank you for the vote of confidence there. She's like, no, I don't mean it in a mean way. She's like, I just don't, you know, just because my body was induced the last time I was pregnant when I was with Elsie. So your chances of having a full term go down after that first pregnancy, I guess, is what she was trying to tell me. So I'm going to use I'm going to use a blush for a shadow today. And it's one of my favorite blushes. And it's just going to give you that really pretty, just a really pretty color. And it's this one right here. It's called Keen. And I'm just going to use a flat brush, and I'm going to use the new brush that I got in the Amaze box today too, if I can find it. I threw it in here, and now I'm kind of like, where did I put it? I was excited when that brush came because I've been wanting that brush, and I didn't get it yet, and now I can't find it. God. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of this shadow, not a lot of it. Okay, so I'm just going to start to apply it to the lid. I didn't know that. No word. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm not worried about it. I told her, I said, well, if you want me to go sooner, I'll be happy to at 36. She's like, no, if we don't have to, we won't. And I know that. I was just playing with her. I said to her, it would be nice though if you could deliver me this year since we've met our deductible. She just started to laugh. I'm like, well, I'm just being honest. I mean, who really doesn't want to meet she thought it was funny. I have to tell you guys, when I went to the labor and delivery last Friday, what a dodo bird this guy is. So guys just have no clue when it comes to women and what they need, and sometimes they just don't get it. And the gentleman who picked me up in the emergency room to take me up to the OB room, to the labor and delivery, he comes down and he's like, here's your wheelchair. And I'm like, okay. And there's no like stirrups on it. And I'm like, okay. So I had to literally do like a crunch the whole way up to labor and delivery. I told Lance, like, my abs hurt, like the lower part hurt so bad by the time that I got up there. I was like, this is absolutely... And when I told them that, they're like, are you kidding me? Like, he really did that? And I go, well, I'm not like mad or anything. I just... You know, when you assume somebody needs a wheelchair, there's a reason why somebody needs a wheelchair, right? Because they can't walk very well. It's too far of a distance. Like, the distance from the ER to labor and delivery is a fair distance. It's a long walk. And so I could have done it, but at that point, you know, my we had thought that my water had broke, so they didn't want me to really walk on it. And so I just thought to myself, like, come on, man. Like, you really want me to walk this hospital? So I thought it was so funny. My OBGYN was just, she's like, I can't believe that. I'm like, well, it is what it is. So I have that blush on, right? So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to dip into this lighter brown. Okay. Just going to dip into the lighter brown. And the reason I'm doing that is because I have hooded eyes. Okay. And I want to add some depth, and I'm going to blend that out. So don't be scared and alarmed, people. Don't be scared or alarmed. Okay, it just adds some more depth. I went a little bit higher than I should have, but that's okay. We'll fix it. Okay. My mail lady just messaged me. She's like, hey, I have a package for you. I'm telling you what, guys, if you're in network marketing, make friends with your post office people. I'm just saying. Make friends with them. It's the best thing you can ever do. Okay, so I'm just going to dip back into the blush here a little bit more, because I got a little crazy with the brown. Okay, see, you can see where this birthmark is, and it just drives me insane. You can just see it, and it just is like, God, drives me nuts. So I'm just going to take some of that brown again, and I'm just going to start tapping it in here into the side. That's all I'm going to do. And that just helps give it dimension. I think it just looks funny when it's like one color. So I like to do multiple. Give me a second here. Perfect. Now, you guys probably saw my stories yesterday. These dual liners are like the bomb. I love them. So I've been using this dual liner, this brown, and I've never been huge into brown. And all I'm doing is I'm just tight lining that area, okay? And what's great when you tight line is you can actually wing it out a little bit. Sorry, my eye like kind of my eye kind of like felt funny for a second from the air. I have really bad dry eyes. Oh, I was so sad today, Angel. Today was my last day of my pink drink. So all I had was my Active. All I had was Active today, but it helped. And you guys are going to think this is funny. Well, you may not think it's funny, but I think it's interesting. So when I went to the doctor 2 weeks ago, I was 8 pounds heavier. When I went yesterday, I was 8 pounds lighter. So I don't know what's going on, but I have lost weight, and I will tell you guys, they're like, are you eating? And I'm like, yeah, I'm eating. Try like Culver's every other day. I'm pretty sure I'm not starving myself. Like, I'm eating, trust me. And they're like, well, we don't understand why you lost weight. I said, well, I don't know. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'll tell you that right now. I'm like, because I'm eating. Trust me, I'm eating. Like, I am an eater. And I want to eat all the time. That's my problem. So I looked at her. I said, maybe you just have issues with this weighing machine. I'm like, maybe this thing is broken and it is not correctly analyzing my weight, is what I said. She just kind of looked at me, and I'm like, I'm being serious. Like, I'm being serious. Like, maybe this is just not, it's just not weighing me correctly. I'm like, because I haven't tried anything, trust me. I told her, I'm like, I don't know how I haven't gained any weight, but it could because I've been drinking more water than normal. So that could be it too. That could definitely have caused it as well, because that water whoosh or whatever. Okay, so we've got that skin where it just looks super natural. Now I am going to show you guys how, I just love these colors. These blushes are just super, super gorgeous. And this is one of the brushes out of the mini collection that we have. I'm going to use this one right here. You don't need a lot. Literally, you could see here, I'm just using a tiny little bit. Now, if you had really red cheeks, you wouldn't be able to wear something like this. And I have really red cheeks. And so I have never been able to wear a lot of blush for that reason. But see how I got too much there too? Because this covers so well, I don't have to worry about that. But I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna get some bronzer. I made a boo-boo. Somebody messaged me. I made a boo-boo. But if you guys have not seen it, the boutique has 20% off right now on all things site-wide. So it's a really great deal. I stocked up on some stuff that I could actually fit into. And I can't fit into much, so I can wear cardigans, that kind of thing. But pant-wise, I ain't touching pants right now. Like, I'm not touching any pants. Like, I'm not buying any pants or anything like that right now. So all I did to cover that was I just took a tiny little pinch of foundation and I just went in there like that. Okay, so I don't need tons. I just wanted to cover that up. And then all I'm doing is I just put that bronzer on top of it. So just right on top. And then I can go in and I'm in this group and they keep sending these messages and I'm watching these messages and I'm like, I really must be missing something funny because there's something going on and it keeps popping up on my tablet. And I always forget to put my tablet on, on silent. I was going to tell you guys, so I decided, I made the executive decision. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I ain't cooking for Thanksgiving. I was going to cook. Well, I thought my parents were coming and they're not coming because my aunt and uncle are going to visit them, whatever. I was thinking that too, water weight. Then yeah, that's what I think too. Which is great because then I haven't had to deal with like swollen ankles or anything lately, which is good because I had really bad swollen ankles in the summertime when I first got pregnant this time around. So I made the executive decision that I'm not cooking. Lance wants turkey, but he doesn't want to cook a turkey. So I'm like, well, that doesn't help me. That doesn't really help me with anything. I told him, I said, let's figure it out here. So I made the executive decision today. I called around and I'm like, as much as I don't want to, I'm thinking we're going to go out. And the thing is, the only places that are really open is like Bob Evans and like Cracker Barrel. And Cracker Barrel, usually the wait is like 2 hours. So, we'll see how that goes. I know you can like order it to go, but by the time you get it to our house, it's like, it's cold. This is Faith, and I have been loving Faith. It doesn't have a lot of color, but it gives you, why did I take that out of there? It gives you the color that you need, in order to just have like a plumpier lip. So I'm really, really enjoying it lately. And I'm just warming up my, mascara here. I think I might have grabbed an old mascara. I did. And you're like, why do you have an old mascara lying around? I don't mean to have an old mascara lying around. I just meant to throw it away the other day and I forgot to. So now I have this old mascara lying around. So we'll see. We'll see what Mr. Spink has to say about that. He'll be like, I don't care if that's what you want to do. That's what he always says. I don't care if that's what you really want to do. I wish he'd say that for everything else. Oh, this mascara ain't gonna work. I'm just gonna use the waterproof today. If I can get it open. Yeah, we'll see what he says. I hate to go when there's all that people, not because I'm afraid of it. It's because that many people make me really hot. Like, I get claustrophobic really easily. So I'll see. I love Cracker Barrel. I love their pancakes. I don't know if their Thanksgiving meal is worth it. So if anybody's had their Thanksgiving meal, comment below. We tried to go there when we lived in Maryland, because what had happened was Lance was supposed to work one Thanksgiving, and they ended up calling them that morning and saying, oh, don't worry about coming in, blah, 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 blah. So I was just on my own. I was just going to eat whatever. It was around the time when I had some teeth pulled, and so I really wasn't going to eat tons. But then they're like, oh, you don't have to come in or anything like that. So we're both like, what are we going to eat? So we tried to go to Cracker Barrel. It was like a 4-hour wait. It was just down the street from our apartment. And then we ended up going to eat at Bob Evans for Thanksgiving. It was good. It wasn't bad. I think I had chicken fried steak. That's what I had, chicken fried steak. He had, I don't even know what he had. But that's how we spent our Thanksgiving. So back then we just kind of like, we got so many he got so many bonuses when we lived out of state, because they give you upkeep or whatever. So it was like, what are we doing for dinner? Oh, let's go out to eat. So this is how I make it just kind of look like my skin. Just kind of color correcting, a little bit of color correcting. It doesn't look like I have tons. Loving this Faith lip gloss. It's my favorite. And I do love this waterproof mascara. I don't wear it enough, and I should. Because I do have really bad baby lashes. There was a Instagram filter that showed, you know, extensions. I was like, I miss my extensions so much. So I hope you guys have a great day. Make sure you check my stories here later. I just got notified by my mail lady that my packages from the exclusives that are going to be dropping this month, which will be next week, like the hat, the mittens, all that stuff, I just got it. So it should be coming, and I'll be posting some stories here in a little bit. So I hope you guys have a great day.